Have you ever wondered what happens to a man when everything he built, every scar, every battle, every drop of blood spilled, gets destroyed in a single moment? Guts wasn't the kind of person born to have friends. He grew up on the battlefield, slept on top of corpses, learned that surviving was the only philosophy that made any sense. But then Griffith showed up, and that changed everything. Because Griffith wasn't your average leader. He had that rare thing, that spark in his eyes belonging to someone who believes so deeply in a dream that everyone around him starts believing too. Guts, who had never fought for anyone, suddenly found himself fighting with someone. The band of the Hawk became family. Casca became more than a comrade. And Griffith became the only thing Guts had that resembled a purpose. But this is where Berserk does what no other story has the courage to do. After the defeat, after the imprisonment, after Griffith was reduced to a fragment of a human being, no voice, no movement, no dignity, he touches the behelit and the eclipse begins. Think about it. Imagine reaching a point in your life where you've lost absolutely everything. Your health, your dream, your identity. You're flat on the ground. And then in the darkest moment, a voice whispers that there's still a way out. But the price is abominable. Griffith chose. He offered the band of the Hawk to the apostles, every face that trusted him, every person who slept by his side, who bled for his dream. They were given as sacrifice so he could be reborn as femto, one of the 5 God Hand. And Guts watched every single second of it. He saw his companions being devoured one by one. He tried to fight something that had no human form. He even cut off his own arm trapped by a demon just to try to save Casca, and still couldn't stop the worst from happening. In the end, he lost his eye, lost his arm, and carried on his chest a brand that condemns him to be hunted by spirits for the rest of his life. But the question that lingers isn't why did Griffith do this? The question goes much deeper than that. To what extent can one person's ambition justify the suffering of everyone around them? Griffith wasn't a villain laughing at other people's pain. He was someone who simply decided that his dream was worth more than any human life, including the lives of the people who loved him most. And the worst part? He felt no regret. Guts, on the other hand, survived. But surviving the eclipse isn't a victory, it's a sentence. Because he wakes up every single day carrying the weight of not having been able to save anyone, of having been strong his whole life and being completely useless in the moment that mattered most. That's why the Eclipse Saga isn't just violence. It's a brutal study of loyalty, betrayal, and the cost of following someone who places their own destiny above everything and everyone else. Berserk doesn't let you get comfortable. It forces you to face an uncomfortable truth. Sometimes the people we admire the most are exactly the ones with the power to completely destroy us. So I'll leave you with this. If you were in Guts' place after everything he lived through and lost, would you still be able to find a reason to keep standing?